Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. We're about to begin a semi-short scenario entitled Servants of the Lake. It was written by Glenn Owen Barras and is part of a collection of scenarios entitled Doors to Darkness. Our game master is Lauren Eason, and this is episode 1. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Lauren?
Thank you, Tom. We are in the year 1920, March 23rd, Tuesday morning. It is a sunny, not a sunny day, but a bleak day outside. It's cumulonimbus is about to occur. And the three of you from the Lost and Detective Agency look out your window and notice the melancholy outside. And with that, you all sit around at your desk waiting for a job. You haven't gotten anything for about a month. You've been bored, but you know that you have to pay your debts, so you just wait for that opportunity. You guys can roll now.
Just another bleak, boring day in Arkham, huh?
Yes.
Now, for all the chatter they have about this place, you'd think it'd be far more interesting.
I kind of just ignore what you're saying.
It's been quite some time since we've had any work around here.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me twice. I almost have to go start hitting the streets trying to notice anything that I can find myself.
Well, we need some work soon.
Well, I mean, I do some work over at the asylum, but other than that, yeah, I'm pretty dependent on this, and I really have to get some work here soon.
Yes, people don't really trust me anymore, so, you know.
Suddenly the phone rings on on Oliver's desk.
Hey, speak of the devil. You got Lawson.
Oliver?
Yeah.
Oliver, this is George, your landlord. Listen, you need to owe me the rent this week and last month. Soon.
We've talked about this.
No, I want it by the end of the week. I want this week's and last month's rent at the end of the week.
The end of the week? I thought I had till the end of the month. I thought we agreed.
No. The end of the week. I want it by the end of the week. If you don't give it to me, I'm going to evict your ass out of here. Do you understand?
Clearly.
Yeah. You give me the money as soon as you can. And he just slams the phone down.
Something tickle your fancy, Mr. Lawson?
No. It's fine. Just somebody just complaining about some random nonsense. Might have been a job, but must have been drunk or something. Didn't really come through all that well, unfortunately.
Well, it sounded very angry, so...
Are you sure you're telling us everything there, Mr. Lawson?
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't I?
You wouldn't lie to us, Mr. Lawson, would you?
No,
Never.
I'm sure he's fine. He's fine. Mr. Lawson is nothing but a consummate professional.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Reed.
That's one way to put it.
You got a problem, Rodriguez?
I always have a problem with you, Lawson.
Don't we all have problems?
Yeah, listen, if you go find another job, then you're welcome to leave, but that doesn't seem to be the case there.
I know.
And then suddenly you hear a tapping at the front of the door.
Now come in. I get up and I go over to the door.
And what we see before you is a man dressed in a Western Union uniform. He's like, which one of you is Oliver?
That would be me.
Here you go. He
Thank
hands you a
you.
telegram, and he kind of does one of these too after you take it.
Kind of fill my pockets, and I kind of pull out like a dollar bill. And
No, I thank you, good sir. You have yourself a lovely day. And he leaves and closes the door behind him.
all right, and I kind of step back over to the desk, and I open it up. To Mr. Oliver Lawson, I have need of your help in resolving an urgent matter. Please come to my office at 11 a.m. this morning. Bank of the United States Arkham Branch. Assistance needed. Mr. Harold J. Drysdale. Well, looks like we've got ourselves a job.
Finally a job.
Drysdale. Isn't he that fellow who runs the bank?
I believe so. Well, this should be good then.
If it's the bank, we all might have our problem solved. Would you all like to go to the bank together?
Of course. He said bring assistance, so.
I'd be happy to drive. It's a hobby of mine.
All right.
That would be good.
And you go out and see this beautiful 1914 car sitting there, and it's in pristine shape, even despite its age. It seats about 4 people.
Where did you get this rust bucket from?
Excuse me? Where did you find this guy, Mr. Lawson? I know I've asked you that many times before.
That's not important. Listen, we don't want to keep Mr. Drysdale waiting.
Absolutely.
So I kind of hop into the front.
Yeah, I just get into.
All right. You know exactly where that bank is, so you make your way. You don't have to roll for drive or anything because it's just a nice, simple drive. So you
I'll step out of the vehicle and I'll let Mr. Lawson out, and I'll let Mr. Rodriguez out politely.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
You get out, you get to the bank. It's literally one of the tallest buildings in the city of Arkham. You're a little awestruck by it, knowing that you've all been summoned to go in. And as you enter, it's just a normal day at the bank. People are coming and they're going, making their deposits, withdrawing money. And you see a receptionist. She's like, "Can I help you?"
Yes, we're here to see one Mr. Drysdale.
One moment, please. She takes off. You're all just standing there waiting. About a few moments later, she comes and says, "Right this way, please."
Thank you.
She escorts you to his office.
I enter last, holding the door for the others.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming. My name is Harold Drysdale. I'm the bank president. Please sit down. Which one of you is Oliver Lawson?
That would be me. Pleased to meet your acquaintance.
Your detective agency comes highly recommended. One of my colleagues, J.P. Swift, told me about that little problem he had with his cheating wife last year and how you cleared it right up.
Yes.
Who are your associates?
Please allow me to introduce myself, Mr. Drysdale. It's, first of all, an honor to be meeting you finally. I've heard your name for so long. My name is Dr. Wright, and I am an alienist. I do some work with the Arkham Asylum.
Alienist, what's that?
The alienist is a criminal profiler of sorts, someone who goes and examines the psyche and psychological ability to stand trial of different...
So you're like a doctor?
I am a doctor, yes.
And you?
I am Dr. Ricard Rodriguez. I am forensic surgeon. And
Another doctor?
Yes.
Well, gentlemen, I have a bit of a problem that I'd like to discuss with you, but before we begin, I need to have your reassurance that none of this gets out. I am a powerful man with a powerful bank, and the last thing I need is a scandal. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
Mr. Lawson,
What we're we're great at.
Mr. Lawson and company never reveal the secrets of our people.
Good. I have a son, James, who is supposed to be in the middle of his second year at Miskatonic. He's a good kid, even if he doesn't take my advice. He's a bit of a rebel, you know the age. He decided to major in European literature instead of finance like I did, but normally he's not flaky at all, sets his mind to something, and he usually follows through, if you get what I mean. Anyway, back on March 14th, he calls me on the phone. I'd say it was around 8 o'clock at night. He calls me up and he tells me that he's dropping out of school. I told him that he was out of his goddamn mind and that I wasn't paying for him to go gallivanting around Arkham, hanging out with his friends and getting drunk. He said he was sick of school and just needed to get away. Said he was heading to his girlfriend's house in Kingsport. That would be Emily Livingston. I met her twice, but I did a little snooping into her family. Seems like good stock, fine family. Probably a good choice for him, anyway. We fight for a while on the phone, and it wasn't nice. And he tells me that he's too tired to go all the way to Kingsport, and that he's going to stop outside of town and sleep and head to Emily's in the morning. I figured he needed some time to cool off and that he would most likely end up back in school in a few days. But yesterday, I get a call from Emily wanting to know if I knew where James was. I told her that I thought that he was with her, but she said that he never arrived. Now, to be honest, I never thought to check up on him. You know, he's an adult and he's at that age where it's best if you let kids figure things out for themselves. He doesn't want or need his parents checking up on him. Well, I immediately called the university and they say that he hasn't been in attendance since the day before he left. And that's it. I need your help to find my son. Here, let me show you a picture. He's 21 years old, 6'2", with an average build, handsome, blonde hair, brown eyes. He drives a 1920 black Chrysler Coupe, Massachusetts license plate AB1652. Bought him that car for his birthday. I'm a banker. I don't know how to even begin this sort of thing.
That's why you call on the experts, Mr. Drysdale.
That's exactly why I called you. So where do we go from here?
I think the first thing we need to discuss, Mr. Drysdale, is I have a particular dislike for missing persons cases. They're always a bit hairy, so I'm going to have to ask you for some of the payment up front in this matter.
Oh, well, you don't need to worry about that. I'll tell you what. I'll pay you $100 now and $100 afterwards.
The Drysdales are very reliable people in this community.
And all expenses paid. I'll pay for all the expenses. Whatever we incur along the way. Yeah, that'll be, I'll take care of that. So what do you say?
Okay.
Mr. Lawson, are we taking this case?
I believe we are.
It's a good high-profile case. It may bring additional work in the future.
Well, by word of mouth, of course, Mr. Drysdale. We won't be bragging about this to anyone.
Good.
Just
this kind of thing, you know, it might be nothing at all. But, you know, I can't have a member of my family in the newspapers or anything like that. It's just not healthy. Just a moment. And I push down the intercom button. Miss LaRue, cancel my appointments for the next few days and tell Wendell that he's in charge until I get back. Tell him it's personal business, none of his business. And tell him to watch that Peabody proposal. I don't want him screwing that one up.
Of course, Mr. Drysdale.
Thank you. So let's get started, gentlemen.
I have a few questions for you, if I may. Mr. Lawson, do you mind?
No, go right ahead.
Was there any negative affect to your son? Did he present with any issues that were notable in terms of personality or anything of the effect. Of course, in confidentiality with us.
No, he was a good kid. Happy kid, as far as I knew. Always smiling. Doing really well as far as I knew in college. I don't know. That's why I was kind of flabbergasted by that phone call.
And I certainly don't want you to be offended. And again, this is all confidential, but has there ever been a history of any mix-ups that you've had to get discretion on in the past?
Nothing like this.
And have there been any arguments or anything like that at home or anything with family members or between Emily that you're aware of?
Between him and Emily, I don't think so. And yeah, I just told you that we had a big fight before he disappeared.
Now, you said that
But to clarify that, we don't fight that much.
Of course not.
We did have another big fight when he decided to do European literature. But that's in the past. That's a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Mr. Drysdale, you said you had this argument on March 14th?
Yeah, about 9 days ago.
And when did Emily call you saying that he never arrived?
Yesterday.
But after he told you he quit, he still showed up to his classes until the day before he went missing.
Well, he went missing. Yeah, the last day that he was in class was March 13th.
Mr. Drysdale, are you aware of any friends or people he associated with at school other than his girlfriend?
I'm sure he has friends. A guy like him, I bet he has a lot of friends. I don't know who they all are.
Do you happen to have his schedule?
He doesn't want me interfering in his stuff.
And you don't have a copy of his schedule or anything to that effect?
No, why would I?
Do you know if he took any drugs or anything?
What kind of drugs? There's no drugs. My son taking drugs? No, absolutely not.
If there were any other hypothetical situations you think might be pertinent to this, I'm sure I would be happy to listen to anything hypothetical, Mr. Drysdale.
Well, that's just it. That's what you're here for, to figure these things out. One of two things could have happened as far as I know. Either he met with an accident along the way or he's run off somewhere, but I don't know why on God's green earth why he would run away.
Yes, but first is to determine if he ran away, Mr. Drysdale.
Exactly. And I don't want the police involved in this. That's just asking
course.
for newspapers.
Of course. So,
Sorry.
our next steps. Jeremiah and Rodriguez, I want you guys to go to the university, see what you can find out. Mr. Drysdale and I should go track down a decent map detailing all the routes he could have possibly taken from here to Kingsport to see if an accident has befallen this young gentleman where it most likely happened.
All right. We'll take my 8-seat touring car. Instead of that little 4-seater you've got.
Did you ever acquire any, obviously a man of your stature and power, have you ever gotten any threats or had any particular enemies that could be an issue here?
Have I, Keeper?
No, you have not.
No. You know, some people aren't happy when they don't get their loan, but that's just day in and day out business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shall we, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yes, thank you again for trusting us.
Thank you.
Well, since I'll how do you want that first $100, Mr. Lawson? In
$33 bills.
They don't make $3 bills. No, I give you whatever you need, whatever currency you need.
Yeah, thank you.
And by the way, when you gave that $1 bill,
No, it was a lot. I'm trying to convince him, and there's nothing to worry about. Money's fine. Don't even sweat it.
you gave
I know
him
how much
like
$1
month's
is.
salary. All right.
Morale was low. I had to do something. Okay.
I was just thinking, the Western Union guy comes running into my office and he says, "I'm rich. Fuck you."
Whoa, what is
Can you repeat Emily's last name again?
Livingston,
Livingston? Yeah.
I presume. All right.
So yes,
So-
we should head down to the university where Mr. Drysdale and myself can make use of the library, and Ryan Rodriguez can go.
Should we should we split up, or should we just all go to the library? I'm sure the library has maps.
Yes,
I'm certain we'll be fine.
We have to go to the. That was the intention, Mr. Drysdale. We all go to the university together.
All right.
All right. As you all exit the bank, you start to notice it begins to scatter showers start to pour down on you ever so gently.
Umbrella.
I just pull my coat up close to my neck.
I just let it.
You don't have umbrellas?
I like the rain, Mr. Drysdale.
Well, and I reach into the little closet on the way out of the bank, and I'm like, "Here, have an umbrella."
All right, I take it.
Whose
And
umbrellas are those? Who cares?
who cares?
I don't
Oh,
accept
Keeper,
umbrellas.
before we head out of here, would it be possible to make a payment to the landlord at this bank?
Sure.
Didn't you
Yeah,
have to
I'm gonna
pay
go.
directly?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Just excuse me a moment, gentlemen, and I'm gonna go pay the rent. Priority.
Your friends
So you
have
pay
it.
the rent, and you are debt free from your landlord, George Stein. So congratulations.
And I wait a bit to make it look like I wasn't doing think here or whatever, and I come back. Thank you, gentlemen.
Can we go?
Yes.
So just for clarification from me, are you all taking one vehicle together, or are you all taking two separate cars?
Well, we're taking my vehicle unless somebody wants to drive their own little car.
Okay.
Kafka.
I'll drive a car, not to be antisocial, but I'll drive my car just because I don't trust it in the
I'm just
downtown
gonna
city.
I'm gonna get in Dr. Wright's car.
Okay.
Truth is, we're probably traveling 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Which, interestingly enough, is about how much fuel my car can hold. So we're in luck.
So you'll drive his car there and then no more.
Done.
And my car is so big, everybody has to get out of the way. It's my car.
Yeah, I'll ride with Drysdale.
Okay. So you drive to Miskatonic University, right where it is, you park the car, and you notice that when you get out of the car, when the little light scatter showers start the rain seems to become more heavier within a short amount of time.
It's March.
Yep.
There's probably, in the shade of the trees, there's probably still bits of snow. So Lawson, where do we start? By the way, you can call me Hank if you want.
All right, Hank. You can call me Oliver.
All
You and I
right.
are gonna head. We're gonna go head to the library. You and I. We're gonna go look at some maps.
All right.
As my associates, as I've asked them, should be going to go talking to some of his professors, discreetly, in kind of a professional sense, trying to get a feel for the young man.
Okay.
And
So
after a couple minutes, our car pulls in.
So just so I'm aware, we're officially splitting the party.
Yeah.
Just by a couple of buildings.
Okay, yeah, just making sure. We'll start with Oliver's group then.
All right.
You head to the library. It's busy, it's regular school semester. People are coming in and out. And you have no problem finding a map.
Jesus Christ, look at all these books.
Oh, yes.
I thought books were just used for decoration.
The map you actually find is If you look in the rulebook for the 7th edition, that's the map you would exactly find, the exact same one.
Okay.
Okay.
So and you look through the map, and from Arkham to Kingsport, you study it. You don't have to make any checks or anything for this because it's blatantly it's pretty obvious for a guy like you in this field. He seemed to have stopped somewhere, maybe like halfway in between. There's a little marker on there. It says Squatters Lake Hotel.
Yeah. Do you think that's the most likely place that he is?
I would assume so. Although he hasn't made any calls from that location.
The other places you find too is Clark's Corner, which is a small town too, but that's going after the motel. So that'd be the next town over. But that's still that's like behind it. So you would pass Clark's Corner before coming to the motel, and then beyond the motel is Kingsport.
Okay.
So by looking at the map, you can estimate it's going to take you about like half a day's drive, like a Sunday afternoon drive.
To get to Squatters Lake or to get to Kingsport?
To get to Squatters Lake would take you a Sunday afternoon drive, per se, that expression.
Well, by now it's probably already noon, so...
Yes.
Now, either something has happened between here and those in Squatters Lake or Clark's Quarters, or he's waiting there.
Well, there's a lot of woods and waterways along the way. I hope that he didn't go off a ravine or something, and we'll have to go carefully, see how long it.
He seems like a sharp young man. I would be surprised if he would have fallen ill.
There's crazy drivers.
Such careless driving.
Let's go check on the other guys, see what they're up to.
Yes.
Okay. What are Doctors Wright and Rodriguez doing right now?
Well, I will step out of the vehicle and open Dr. Rodriguez's door for him.
I say thank you, but then I go, right, I don't trust that Drysdale.
Why not? His family's upstanding.
I just have that feeling.
But we will note that feeling, I'm sure. Do you have any inkling of where we should begin here? In my opinion, perhaps we should stop by the registrar's office and do a little examination.
Look for his lecturers.
Yes. So why don't you go ahead and... We can either do this in order, or we can go on our own accord. I'd be happy to go to the registrar's office if you'd like to go check on his office. He doesn't have an office on... we don't know which professor he has, so we're going to have to wait. Yes.
Yes. We'll stick together. It will be fine.
All right.
At this point, everyone has pretty much reunited.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Have you guys found anything yet?
Didn't take long.
Did I get anything from the registrar? Or...
We got there.
No,
yeah.
we're approaching you from the building. Your car, just took so long.
You guys are just catching up now. Yes, well, we're on our way.
We've only just arrived, Mr. Lawson.
Well, there's the registrar's office right there. Let's go in.
Okay.
Administration.
I'd like to take a moment to thank both Mr. Drysdale and Mr. Lawson for getting information about maps for us in the future.
Are you going to thank us for every damn thing that we do? Let's just get this damn thing over with.
It's appropriate, Mr. Drysdale.
And kind of as we're walking, don't worry about him, Hank. He's used to working with some twitchy folk.
Right.
And I point over at Rickard and I say, and you're used to dealing with the ones that don't twitch anymore.
Yeah.
True.
You go to the register. Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying you make your way towards the register office, and it's pretty empty at this time of the day. It's about lunchtime.
I go up. Is there a bell or anything on the counter?
There sure is.
Ding ding with my pipe.
Hold on, just a minute. And you wait about at least like 2 or 3 minutes. You see this elderly man coming out, kind of hunched over like this, like how I am, and he's walking up like, yeah, may I help you, sir?
Hello, sir. I was curious if we might be able to get some information from you, please, regarding a family member of mine who... Oh, wait. You're with us, aren't you, Hank? Your character's with us? We're trying to get some information about a young man, this gentleman's son, and the classes he was taking.
All right, and his name is?
James Drysdale.
James Piesdale?
James P. Drysdale.
Oh, James P. Drysdale. Okay. Just one moment. I'll go find where he is, and then he kind of slowly shifts back to the corner.
Please, by all means, move at a glacial pace.
I think I'll be examining his body soon.
Yes, and cheery Rodriguez.
He comes back. He has like a little folder with him. It's like, all right, this is for James P. Drysdale.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your assistance.
Yes, thank you. You have yourself a good day there.
I take it there's a table in the room we can sit at? Is that...
Yes, there's a table at the room you can sit at.
And we examine the...
Yep, you open it up. You notice that it's got where his dormitory is. It's listed who's staying with him. His name is Travis Bryce. You notice that that's his roommate. You notice that his teachers are... Well, he's a European literature. His teacher is Professor Malcolm Swan Song. He also has English Lit. And that professor's name is Professor Mallory Flowers. And then his third class is math with Professor, as I'm writing these out, Walter Hirsch. That's Hersh. That's all he has. That's all he has for this semester.
Yeah, the math I can understand.
Does all of the classes he said he's been taking, or the times he's supposed to be at school, legitimate? Like cross-referencing it with Harold, like anytime he was gone from home, was he always at class like he said he would be? The schedule.
Yeah, he insisted on staying in the dorms. He didn't want to stay at home, even though we're just across the river.
Yes, young man can be stubborn sometimes. Now, how late into the semester is this?
Well, it's March, so...
It's March, so it's like any other college semester. Like, it's almost over. If I'm not mistaken, with 1920 school, right?
That sounds about right. But so, kind of just Oliver kind of thinks out loud to himself. Now, why would he, a reputable young man, a bright, intelligent young man, decide to call it quits right at the end?
That's what I said. Told him he was out of his goddamn mind.
It seems uncharacteristic of his traditional behavior.
Women do this to people. Women get under your skin. That Emily got under his skin. I mean, I'm not saying she's a bad girl. But
have you met her, Mr. Drysdale?
Twice, yeah.
And what was that interaction like for you?
It was a hello, goodbye. He just brought her by to say hello. I was busy with things, but I met her. I like I say, I looked into her family. They seem nice enough.
So what has given you the askance idea that she's to blame for this?
Because this is why a person would just walk off of, give up everything they own and their life and everything else and just walk off with some girl and run off. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't run off with her, that's what's got me baffled.
Mr. Drysdale, have you ever considered it your bad parenting?
I beg your pardon?
That is
Mr. Rodriguez, please.
inappropriate. I apologize for our
suggesting
colleague,
it.
Mr. Drysdale.
Yes. The answer to that question is yes. I think that his mom coddled him too much. God rest her soul.
Okay.
And I just kind of step away. Pardon me, gentlemen. Sir, he says to the registrar, do you happen to have the schedule for or the location of this young man's girlfriend, Emily Livingston?
She's in Kingsport.
Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't go to Arkham. I'm sorry, Miskatonic University.
He'd drive out there on the weekends sometimes to see her.
Yeah, Kingsport isn't too far from here. Now, Mr. Registrar, where can I find Professor Swan Song?
He looks at the clock. He's like, it's lunchtime, so he's probably in the faculty lounge, so he's probably there. He doesn't have a class until 2 o'clock.
Gentlemen, we haven't had lunch either. Maybe we should eat something and then meet these teachers at their classrooms.
Seems reasonable enough to me.
Find out where the other teachers are located, like in which building, in which classroom.
Yeah, so excuse me, my good sir. The literature classes, where are they generally held?
Yeah, he points to where the English hall would be.
Okay.
I don't know I don't know where Miskatonic University school is, so he's like in that area, like where the English lit department would be.
So he points out to where they would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. My character starts to drift away. He's impatient with this old guy, so he's drifting closer and closer to the door.
Yes. Well, thank you for all your help.
You're welcome. Have yourself a good day.
Yes, you as well.
I'll see you in the morgue, old man.
What?
Thank you,
As
good sir.
I
He
walk
said
out, I
thank you.
kind of give a sharp elbow to Rodriguez and keep walking.
This is, you probably won't see him in the morgue. He's just going to turn to dust one day.
Mr. Lawson, where would you like to begin? Just lunch and perhaps observe the other people, as Mr. Drysdale said?
Well, we're here already. I suppose we could eat with the students, but I imagine their food fare is pretty nasty.
No, I wouldn't.
Drive down the street. There's a nice restaurant there.
Yes, that would be preferable. Especially students do like to gossip.
You want to go where the students go. All right.
I think it's going to just be a badge for us to earn to go there, Mr. Drysdale.
Now, of course, I'm not sure if Mr. Drysdale should go, in case anybody recognizes him. They might be asking any questions, but...
I don't know who'd recognize me here. I haven't been on this campus for 10 years.
Well, fair enough.
I doubt that any of James's friends would recognize me.
Never brought anybody over to the house?
Well, he did, but, they didn't want to talk to me, so it's a big place.
All right, then. So we'll go head over to the cafeteria where the students normally eat.
All right, and at this time it's lunchtime, so it's a little, it's booming, it's busy. You got people coming in and out. Food smells good though. They got pretty much anything you can imagine. They have their
Cafeteria?
a lot of variety.
Well, I look out of place, but, I'll have a piece of that chocolate cake.
I just quietly gather my lunch, lurching above everyone at 6'4", and walk to our table.
So, determine where to sit. Can I try to determine where anybody who looks like they have like a lot of books, anybody who looks like they would be studying like literature,
like
trying to
us.
look at what people have on their on the tables and stuff, trying to determine anybody who would be
Like out of place.
Not like out of
Anybody
place.
in
I mean, if
literature.
anybody looks super suspicious, then that's one thing. But I'm more looking at
Classmates.
trying to glean books, trying to look for like any like European like
Okay. Make
French or whatever.
I got you. Make a spot hidden.
Yeah, I got you.
What are these fried potatoes? That's interesting.
I passed with a 36.
Is that a regular success for you?
It is.
Okay.
32 would have been hard, but
Okay. So you notice like within maybe I'd say like a radius of like 10 feet, you don't see too many English literature. You see more so I'm sorry, European literature you don't see. You see more English lit, and you see maybe like one other student with a math book that would most likely be in the same type of class that James
same
was in.
class schedules.
Yes.
So I'm gonna just, as everybody else is kind of grabbing lunch, I'm gonna kind of stop, but I go, "Hey, gentlemen, I've been actually looking at this college. I've just been wondering what their literature program is like."
They'll kind of look at you. One of them goes, "Aren't you a little too old to go to college?"
Well, you're never too old to learn. I'm insulted. My friend's like in his 20s. Oh. Late 20s, mind you, but kind of just brushes it off.
We're trying to eat here, man, and they got finals coming up. It's rough. Yeah, we're trying to eat here, man. What do you want? Leave us alone.
No, I was talking to one fellow. Sorry, I do hate to disturb your lunch, but a one James Drysdale. Have you seen him around?
Oh, that prick? Nah, haven't seen him around in a couple days.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
You
such
know-
a dude. He's a jerk. No one likes that snot-nosed rich boy.
Interesting. Any particular reason why?
Oh,
Other than being pretentious?
I don't know. He's kind of snotty. Thinks he's too good. You know, what are you? Are you the police or something? You a cop?
No.
What's with the third degree?
As I said, I've been talking to him a bit around town. Got me interested in the program. I'm just a little curious. He just seemed so polite in his interactions with me. Is this peculiar for him?
I don't know. I'm not friends with the guy. I'm just his classmate. I just see him come and go.
All right, well, I hope he isn't ill at all. Did he seem kind of off these last couple of weeks?
He hasn't showed up for class in over a week, so what do I care? I'm not his friend. I'm not his buddy.
All right, well, you have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
And I kind of go over, join the other, kind of just mumbling on my breath, under my breath. Forgetting college kids being there.
I lean over towards the girl sitting at the table next to me, and I'm like, my son goes here.
Oh, yeah? He does?
Yeah. James Drysdale. Do you know him?
No,
Yeah.
I can't. Wait, is he that really, really cute one with the blonde hair? He's like
That's him.
6'2". Yeah, I see the resemblance greatly. I see it.
Yeah, it runs in his family. The only thing he got from his mom is those brown eyes.
Oh. Are you his grandpa?
I'm his father.
Mr. Drysdale.
Oh.
Good low profile, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, so you're James's father. Well, what are you doing here at campus?
Well, he's kind of gone missing. We're looking for him. He's probably off with some girl, but just wondering. We're going to talk to a couple of his teachers.
Maybe he's with what the hell's her name? Sally?
Emily.
Jenny? Emily, yeah, maybe he's with Emily.
Well, he's not with Emily.
What do you mean he's not with Emily? He keeps talking about her all the time.
Well, he's not with Emily. Do you know?
Wait, they broke up?
No, he's just not with her. That was the first place we looked.
Oh.
Do you know who he hangs around with?
Well, he has his roommate, Travis. He's in a couple of my classes.
Well,
Take
we'll have to
folklore-
try and talk to him.
Okay, that's about it, really. He just hangs out with Travis, and
Is
on the
Travis
weekend
here somewhere?
he's probably in his dorm room studying. He's got a big, exams and everything. He likes to keep privates.
Well,
Those folklore students, I swear.
what are you studying?
Oh, I'm studying math, as she shows you her math book.
Really?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you should, once you graduate, you should come and see me at the bank. We could, we could use people who are good at math.
Oh. I'll have to take you up on that.
I pick up one of those French fries and I'm like,
I kind of sit down and go,
Mr. Lawson.
Mr. Hank, just got to ask. You said your son brought friends over. How often did that occur?
that's not really something that I took that much attention to. I mean, he could have had people there all the time, and I might have missed it. I mean, I'm at work ever since his mom died. I kind of threw myself into my work after that. And he's old enough; he can do what he wants.
Yeah, I just understand. It's just I was over there talking to kind of look over, kind of scowling almost to the people who I was talking to, and said they were all his classmates, and they said that they weren't too fond of your boy.
Yeah, jealous. It's not everybody who gets to drive it around in a 1920 Chrysler coupe.
Now, just out of curiosity, I mean, people here apparently don't seem to talk to him much. Where did he meet Emily?
That I don't know. I don't know how he met Emily, or do I?
You actually don't know how they met.
I don't know. Do I? Now I'm asking the GM, but do I know? Has he gone through a string of girls, or did he meet Emily in high school or around that age? And
Like he went with some of his friends. They went to Kingsport for a weekend. He met Emily like at a malt shop or something, and they kind of just hit it off, like love at first sight. His past experience with girls hasn't been well. He's been kind of a ladies' man, but never anything serious. So, but once he found Emily, like everything changed. Like his world was open. Like,
and how long has that been?
It's been about a little over a year with James and Emily.
Okay. Yeah, so he's just been with her about a year. Kids get infatuated, they do, but he seems to have stuck with this Emily girl.
Yeah, I don't. Mr. Drysdale, I have to be honest here. If you only known her for a year and she doesn't know where he is, I'm not sure that's why he left.
Well, he said that he was going there. So that's all I know.
You seem to take, with all due respect, Mr. Drysdale, as an upstanding member of society, you seem to take quite a laissez-faire attitude when it comes to your son.
Not at all. I called you immediately when I realized something was wrong.
That's true. Forgive me.
I would consider myself a fairly good parent. I let my kid do what he wants, within reason.
Forgive me for that.
I mumble to myself.
And he's a good kid.
He's a bad father.
Mr. Rodriguez, do you have children?
I would not like to tell you, Mr. Drysdale. I do not trust you.
My guess is that you don't, so shut up.
And Mr. Drysdale grows on him a little bit more. I continue eating my lunch.
I am the most trustworthy person in the world. I take care of your money.
Oh, yeah. Now, let's see. On the registrar, he was saying about a roommate?
Yeah, it's named Travis. Travis Bryce.
Travis Bryce. Do we know where he's at?
Yes, we do.
Well, this young lady over here, this lovely young lady, said that he's probably in his room, that he's not here.
And the registrar said it was his roommate, so...
Miss,
Yes.
do you know where Travis and James live? Where their apartment would be?
Oh, actually, it would be on the little farm what building they're staying at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to
I
ask.
might know it too. I might know.
Yes.
Could you tell me, Mr. Drysdale, could you tell me a bit more about your relationship with your wife?
We were married for 20 years.
You said that she coddled him.
Well, it's probably why he went into English lit or European literature. She read to him all the time, and she supported his more artistic ventures.
And have there been any increase in fighting between you and your wife at all? And please, again, forgive me. He's speaking very, very quietly to not draw attention from anyone else.
I'm sorry. I thought I made it clear. My wife passed away.
I did not notice that.
3 years ago.
I'm sorry. My thoughts are with you and your family. Yeah.
Oh, it happened 3 years ago. We're over
Still.
it.
If you gentlemen want to keep eating, that's fine. But I'm going to go. While we're waiting for the teachers to return to their respective classrooms, I want to go talk to this Travis.
Well, why don't we all go? I'm done with these French fried potatoes. I don't know what makes them French. There's no sauce.
Yes. They're more like American fries.
Oh, wait, is this red stuff the sauce?
Yes, I believe that is the sauce.
That's not bad. I'll have to talk to my chef and see if he can make me some of these French fried potatoes.
Idiot.
Mr. Lawson, could I speak to you for one moment, please?
Yes. What is it, Jeremiah?
He just kind of goes off to a side for a moment with Mr. Lawson. Is Mr. Rodriguez is Dr. Rodriguez going to cost us this job?
I sure hope not.
He's certainly taking a lot of liberties with our employer.
And as they're doing that, I'm walking along with Mr. Rodriguez, and I say, Rodriguez, I like a man who's straightforward with what he thinks. It's a good trait in a person. You just keep speaking your mind.
Thank you, Mr. Drysdale. I don't trust wealthy men. I've had a bad experience with them.
I'm sorry. Politician, probably, yeah?
You could say that.
And as they're talking, to Jeremiah, it's like, well, his retainer is up soon, so if he costs us this, then no reason to keep him around.
Yeah, sorry, I've just been getting a bit concerned given how he speaks to Mr. Drysdale.
Yes, but we'll see how this plays out.
Very good.
You've probably seen a lot of interesting dead bodies in your time, I would assume.
Yes.
What's that like?
It's weird. Some people don't have any arms. Some people don't have any legs. I even get headless bodies.
Very interesting. Well, we all end up in the same place anyway.
What do you believe in? Do you believe in life after death, Mr. Drysdale?
That's an interesting question. I don't think I ever gave it much thought. I'm interested in a comfortable life, is what I'm interested in. I'm not going to worry about what happens afterwards.
Well, you should. What you do in your life now can affect a future life.
Well, I think I do very well then.
We'll see, Mr. Drysdale. We'll see.
And as you're all leaving the cafeteria, I'd like Mr. Drysdale to make a luck roll.
62. What's my luck? My luck is 60. Can I use luck points to make my luck roll?
Yeah, when you let me know how that works, I'll be sure to inquire that with every other Call of Cthulhu game from here on in.
I'm a banker. I spend 2 luck points, which reduces it by 2, and then I spend 4. And then...
Yeah.
So as you're leaving, you feel like this, like, not a tap, but like if something hits you in the back, and everyone else sees
What,
like
the deuce?
a pudding cup hit you in the back, and you notice it was from another student like a couple feet away, as his friends are snickering and like as they did that to you.
I look around for somebody in authority. Is there any teachers? Is there any
Make a spot hidden.
people running this place? 99. 97.
Did I see who threw it?
Oh yeah, make a spot hidden, Oliver. Mr. Drysdale, you don't see anything. You're too distracted with the pudding. You just see red because you're so mad right now.
I failed 88. I guess I didn't see either.
Did I see who threw it?
What did you get, Rodriguez?
Oh, let me have a look. Oh, I passed.
Okay, you saw it was just some young kid, not the ones that Morgan was that Oliver was talking to earlier, but another table down. They're all kind of like snickering and like kind of trying to like hide, like, you know, they didn't do it, but you know that they did it.
I want to walk up to the table and slam my fist down.
Okay, do you have Intimidate?
Remember, they're students. They're
Yes, I do have Intimidate.
Make an Intimidate roll then.
Oh, I'm also yelling out, "Who threw that? This is a $500 suit."
Yeah, I failed that.
They just kind of look at you like, who the hell are you? Go away. You lost?
I
Are you
just walk
lost?
away.
I storm out, taking off my jacket in the process. God damn it! I'm heading towards the nearest restroom.
Okay, you find it. It's empty. There's no one there.
This is gonna stain. Fuck. And I try cleaning. Cleaning some of it off.
I make my way over as soon as Dr. Rodriguez leaves the table. And I'm 6'4" and very lanky.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of very quietly lean into the table and I say, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Dr. Wright. I work as a criminologist, an alienist, and I couldn't help but notice the manner in which you treated that man right there. Tell me, have you ever heard what they do to the criminally insane?"
They're all shaking their heads like, no. And they all kind of shrug like, no.
Let me explain to you in excruciating detail electroconvulsive therapy. And he does so. And he says, "I assure you, gentlemen, that it's not the path to take in life. Why don't you worry about your upcoming tests and worry less about making enemies?" And then he just quietly walks away.
And as you walk away, you hear one of them say, "That fucking prick fired my father for no reason."
I ignored and walk away. I've done my duty.
I stopped. Do I hear that?
You make a listen roll.
Oh, I barely pass. 30.
Okay, you hear that.
Yeah.
Barely, but you hear that.
I then have a third person to walk over to that. I'm sorry, did you say that?
What is this? Why are all these old guys walking up to us? God, can't we just eat in peace?
No. You made that choice after you threw a pudding cup at him.
Well, he deserved it.
And why is that?
He fired my father. Mr. Drysdale's a freaking tyrant.
I kind of... Does he carry a reputation of being a tyrant?
Just a banker.
Or is that just your personal opinion?
Wait, can you repeat that again? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Is this a common opinion that Drysdale is a tyrant?
Are you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking him.
He's like, no, he's a horrible man. He fires people left and right. No one ever keeps a job. He fired my father for no reason. I'm like, he's getting all flustered now. He's like, yeah, he's just getting so angry. He slams his fist on the table. Like, he deserved that.
No, I'm actually looking into some things with the bank, and I think your testimony might help me. Can I get your name?
Yeah, my name is. Someone smacks him on the head. It's like, oh, just quit fooling around. He's actually going to help you. His friend goes, his name is Cliff Beretta.
Thank you, Cliff. What about the rest of you?
I got no problem, Mr. Drysdale. I mean, his son's kind of a prick, but that's how the rich are. All stuck up.
Do you have any classes with his son?
The two Cliff's he shakes his head no. The other guy you're talking to says no, and one says, yeah, I got English with him.
English, how interesting. But his reputation gets around then of being stuck up then, if people outside of his classes seem to have such strong opinions of the man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, does he hang out with anybody? I mean, he seems to. I mean, these people are just so awful,
He just hangs out with that nerd Travis.
Trav, huh?
Yeah, Travis Bryce. He's such a nerd. He just does folklore. It's the guy you're talking to. He's kind of a jock type.
All right.
Yeah. This guy's jacket on, Letterman jacket.
Gotcha. So folklore, huh? Is that generally what they talked about?
I don't know what they talk about. I just know we don't associate with them.
All right. Well, fair enough. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Then they go back and do whatever they were doing.
Bunch of friggin' animals. I thought this was like top class school. I'm not in there. I'm not.
Yep.
I've gotten most of the pudding off my back. Nah, I'll just buy another one.
It's not a problem.
No, I didn't get this rich by just treating material objects as if they were worthless. I value every penny that I spend on things. So I'm really pissed at the moment and hot under the collar. The pudding colored collar.
And so walking out, we're all heading up to Travis's room, right?
Get rid of some of this riffraff that's in this school.
Yes, to my understanding, that's what you're all doing right now.
Okay. So once everybody kind of gets there, I'm gonna knock on the door.
Hey, just a second. You hear the door slowly opens, like kind of creaks it halfway up. It's like, yeah.
Hi.
Who are you? Oh, it's a lot of you.
Yes.
Question: have I ever actually seen Travis before?
No, you have not.
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me. Are you Travis Bryce?
Well, yes, I am. Who might you be?
Yes, name's Oliver Lawson. Pleased to meet you. I go up to shake his hand.
He's kind of reluctant to shake your hand because he's like doesn't really know who you are.
I'm James's father.
Oh,
Harold.
you're James's dad.
I
Definitely shakes your hand. Nice to meet you, sir.
Does he have a good strong handshake, or is it?
He's got a kind of average handshake.
Okay. We're trying to find James.
You notice his hands are also a little clammy too after you're done shaking it.
It's okay. It's dirty already.
Yeah, James. Man, he just took off. Like I don't know where he is. He's been gone for about a week.
I look.
Why don't you come in? Come here. I don't want to have James. It'd be rude of me to have James's father just stand out in my dorm room. Come on. Yeah, I'll let you in.
As I walk in, I turn to Oliver and I say, Oliver, I think that's the phone that he must have called me from right there. Are you gonna get fingerprints or something?
I'll look at it.
It's just a phone.
I'll look
I don't
at
know how these things work.
But yes, no, I'll look at it.
I think honestly that'd be more forensic if I'm not mistaken.
Right, I'm not actually going to go look at the phone. I'm just...
Well, then Ricard, my new best friend, can do that.
Yes, I go look at the phone.
Mr. Drysdale, when you are in his room, you notice that one side of the room is very neat, very clean, very tight, and the other side is just a mess. There's like bed's not even made, books are lying around, notepads, pencils. Just looks like a complete wreck.
So, Travis, this is your side of the room, pointing to the dirty side.
Oh no. I have the clean side. I have this thing called OCD. It's gotta be, gotta keep everything nice and tight and clean.
I do a survey of the contents to see if I recognize James's stuff. Is he really the messy one? That's what I'm
Yeah, those you look at, and those are most of James's books from the classes he's taken from semester. You see the European literature, the English book, math.
What
Got some. He's got some homework, like unfinished homework.
Yeah, I'm going to go kind of... Thank you for letting us in, Travis. You mind if I look around for a bit?
Oh, all right, wait, hold on a second. Who are you exactly?
They're helping me find James. They're detectives.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then by all means, go right ahead.
I actually move towards the back of the room wherever there's a place to sit, and I sit down because I'm just
okay. Right.
Does this place look like it's been left quickly, or does it look like it's been messy because he's lived there? Do you get what I'm saying? Does it look like stuff has been gone through to get out quick, or
it looks like he's been living in filth and disarray, and it just looks like it's been like that for like a while. You kind of could tell because of the sheets and like everything all scrunched up. It does not look like he just suddenly left.
I give Mr. Drysdale kind of a look briefly.
Well, my question would be: is that normal for him? Is he messy or is he well organized? Usually, I would have thought that he was well organized.
Are you asking Travis? Or are you asking me?
No, I'm asking you because I don't know.
You know that when he first started school, everything was good. He's known to be very neat and clean and everything. But you think maybe this is because of stress?
Maybe, yeah, because he's a banker's son. All of our zeros and ones are right where they're supposed to be. Yeah,
I'm gonna go start looking through his papers and documents, anything that he left.
All right,
very thorough search.
Yeah, do a library use.
Gotcha.
And while he does that, I'm going to be observing the pictures and any photographs he might have in the area.
Okay.
I pass. Normal success.
Okay. You notice like all his books are pretty much intact. They look like they really haven't. You know how you get like a book and like it looks kind of like brand new. It's like it hasn't been opened.
Right.
You get that sort of feel with most of his books. You notice he's got homeworks like scattered all around. It's like half-written answers, half-written essays. And the paper's really crumply. It's really like, paper kind of gets like, stale or like very old.
Right.
Like that's basically what you're finding. You're finding trash basically, but it's very organized trash. If you get what I'm saying, kind of like he's living in chaos, but it's organized chaos.
Okay.
But nothing like outstanding. Do you see that's difference?
Okay, and nothing like on the homework all seems normal. Like,
well, the homework's just not complete. Like everything's like half answered or like no efforts put into it. Like he just kind of like gave up.
Okay, and is there a lot of it? Like,
very
common. Like he hasn't done homework like at all this whole semester type of deal. Or
if you had a guess, say maybe like a month. Last month he hasn't done anything.
Okay.
Like he's been struggling for about a month or so now.
He called 9 days ago. Started struggling a month.
Travis. Travis, tell me, do you happen to know Mr. Cliff Beretta?
Cliff Beretta. He thinks about it. Oh yeah, he's that jock. He's what does he do? I can't remember what stupid sport. I think it's football. Yeah, I think he's a football player. Yeah, he's a jerk. What about him?
I was just curious. Have you guys had many visitors prior to when he stopped showing up? When the young Mr. Drysdale?
No, the only visitor we've ever had here is just his James's girlfriend Emily. That's it. No one else has really been here.
And how often does she visit?
Oh, I'd say maybe every other week, but not long. Just to kind of just to come hang out for just to hang out and leave.
I sort of nudge Ricard, and I'm like, Beretta. That name sounds too familiar to me, but I don't know why.
Make an idea roll, Mr. Drysdale.
Yeah, I pass. Regular pass.
Greg Beretta was one of your employees who you recently fired at the beginning of this month. He was fired due to tardiness and having a bad attitude. So you just said, you're done with him. He was very disrespectful to you.
Greg Beretta. Yeah. You were asking if there were connections that might cause a problem. There was a fellow, Greg Beretta, who was an employee of mine. Waste of time. Didn't show up on time. It's the one thing I demand is promptness.
Yes, that was his son, I believe, who threw that at you.
Yes, it was.
Oh. Okay.
Greg,
I don't know how his son knew what I looked like, but
was Greg violent?
No, I wouldn't say violent. He was just stupid and late all the time.
Ugh.
Quite honestly, I almost completely forgot about him 10 minutes after he was gone. I mean, you get employees all the time who are lousy employees. It's the ones that stick. They're the ones that work.
And of course, you'd have access to his home address and things like that, right?
I don't. I have no idea where he lived.
Well, someone at your bank.
I'm not terribly concerned about Cliff's family.
Yeah, I doubt if they had anything to do with this, unless you think Cliff did something.
No. Travis,
yes?
When Emily was over, what did the three of you normally talk about?
We just talk about everyday stuff, they always talked about getting married. They had, saving up money to elope and everything.
What?
Oh,
goddamn mind.
Oh man!
Is that what
you can place the shoulder on
Oh my God! Please don't.
Hand on the shoulder.
Don't, please. I didn't know. Sorry. I thought you knew.
Travis.
I'm freaking out now.
No,
I'm freaking out.
We know that's not what happened. Obviously, that's not what happened.
Travis, I need you to focus for a second. No worries. We're just trying to help find your friend. Okay? Just trying to find out where he might have gone.
Travis, I want to say something. Look, this is my son we're talking about here.
Okay.
And I know you're too young to have kids, but I've got a son, and I care about him and I love him, and he's gone missing. So I want you to answer this question truthfully. Nobody's going to do anything or say anything. But
yes, sir.
Has he been using any kind of drugs?
Oh God, no. Well, at least not in here. I'm pretty sure James is, he's a straight arrow. Nothing.
Well, you're a good kid. You'd tell me if he was acting like he was on drugs.
Yeah, I would definitely tell you, Mr. Drysdale, sir.
Now, Travis, do you know where he might have gone?
Well, can I do a psychology roll?
Oh yeah, go right ahead, please.
Telling the truth. 13. Yes, I passed that. Wait, did I pass that? I don't have that much. I've only got 2. I'll spend 3 luck.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll spend 3 luck to pass.
Right. He's telling the truth 100%.
All right.
You don't. He's not lying.
All right, good.
Now, Travis, do you know where James might have gone?
Well, he was just so stressed. Like the only school got in the way. I think classes. I'm sure Mr. He kind of points over to Mr. Drysdale over there. He just wanted to go see Emily. Like he felt like if he was with Emily, that he'd be better. Like he'd be more content.
It's okay, Travis. These gentlemen are aware that James and I had a fight.
Oh, okay. Well, what did he say to me when I last left? Like, he said he was gonna go to Kingston to see Emily.
I mean, Kingsport.
I'm sorry, Kingsport. I'm so stressed with exams and everything. Kingsport, and I'm pretty sure he was gonna live there with Emily's family. He was gonna quit school. He just kept saying all this nonsense. He was just really stressed.
Do you know what was stressing him out?
Honestly, I want to say school. It's got to be maybe.
You've been his roommate for a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, well, he doesn't have the best relationship with Mr. Drysdale over there, sir. With all due respect, James just felt like he's not living up to his father's expectation. He wants to live his own life, but I don't know. Maybe that's why he pursued European literature instead of like business or math as a major. I don't know.
But if school was such a stress on his mind, wouldn't you think he would have broken well before he's hit this point in his academic career?
I don't know. Like he always keeps a lot of things to himself, and like I said, the only joy he ever gets out, like the only relief he gets is when he goes sees Emily, or when Emily comes by here every so often. So
It appears as though there's some decline in our young man here that we're looking for mentally. Can you tell me, with regard to the eloping plans, sorry again, Mr. Drysdale, but with regards to those elopement plans, did they go any further? Did they say where they might go if they were to do something like that?
let me think. I don't think they were going to elope anytime soon, because they have to save a lot of money. That's what James. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's what James was stressed about was money, because it's expensive to get married. So to get married and get a place to live. So he was always scrimping too. I'm sure they're probably caught up with him, but maybe in Kingsport. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he come back here. I have no idea.
I'm going to.
He said he was gonna. I was gonna say he said he would call me once he got things settled with Emily, but it's been what, 8 days? He's looking at his calendar. 8 days?
9.
He's been gone? 9 days, wow.
I didn't find out about myself until Emily called and said that he'd never arrived.
Oh gosh, and that was over a week ago. You know what? I wonder if it was the Abniki terror. He has a serious look on his face when he says this.
I'm sorry, what?
The Abniki terror. You never heard of it?
Can't say I have.
Oh God, let me tell you. And he's he gets his
I don't know how you're spelling that.
No, it's Abenaki. It's a Native American tribe. Here, and he's all proud now. He's all excited because he's a folklorist, and this is basically his project he was working on. There's an urban legend about this Abniki terror. So, yeah, sit down. He's really excited now to tell you about this. He wants you all to sit down. You see, back in 1722, when the English settlers came here, they would drive away this small settlement. But there was one English settler, he was a doctor, he would take a child for his own needs, for himself. Now, at first the doctor thought the child was a boy, but instead it was a girl, but it was a very burly looking girl, easily mistaken for a boy. He named it Crow. I don't know why, but he named it Crow. But anyways, she would grow up. They would grow up, and she had this addiction to gin, and she would display this brute behavior towards like everyone in the settlement. But then, Crow would also develop like this what is it? A mania for thievery in the settlement. Like she would just keep taking things for herself, like a kleptomania. That's what it is, kleptomania. Well then,
James, I'm sorry, Travis. What's the point of this story?
well, it's an urban legend. Listen, let me finish, please. So then, where was I? He's going back to looking where he left. Kleptomania, yeah. And then, there was one time when she stole one too many times, and then the doctor's like, yo, that's it. It's time to operate. And so what happened was, he and some of the other guys, they would hold her down, stricken her blind, and then they decided to sever off each finger. They sever off each finger of the amount of time she would steal something from. It was about 5 of them, 5 times. So 5 of her fingers from both hands are gone. And then, eventually they just, I don't know why, but they hacked off her tongue. But the point of the story is that between where James was traveling, from Arkham to Kingsport, that's where this Abniki terror lies. Where now she just haunts the area in agony, trying to survive day by day. What do you guys think?
Travis, that's a nice story.
Isn't it?
Do you believe
doubtful
this?
a ghost.
Do you believe this story, Travis?
Sounds like my kind of woman.
I'm going to quietly get up and start looking around through James's stuff.
Okay.
The drugs sound a lot more probable now.
Do you believe this story, Travis?
Well, yeah, I do. It's folklore. It's what I'm going to school for. I believe it.
Have you ever tried to go out there?
Oh no, goodness no! I'm not brave at all. I'm a scaredy cat,
So you say on the ways to Kingsport was where this Abniki?
Abniki. It's my pronunciation. Sorry, Abniki. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Terror.
And how much stock in this did the young Mr. Drysdale take?
James? Oh, he didn't care for it. He thought I was crazy. I told him about it before he left, though. He's like, Travis, you need to settle down. But, I like this stuff. This is what I strive for. But maybe that's what's got him. I mean, it's been 9 days, but, oh, no. Oh, no. He couldn't have got picked. No, it can't be real. It's just an urban legend.
Be calm. So,
okay.
Breathe in and out.
You are a scaredy cat, aren't you?
Now, Travis, you said you're speaking like there's some place where he might have stopped, where he might have encountered this thing, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he showed me a map, and he said he was gonna go to, what was that, Squatters Lake, some sort of
Lake.
That's it, Squatters Lake Motel. It was like on the way. It was a little pack past Clark's Corners. He didn't want to stop at Clark's Corner, though. He just wanted to make it a little bit further, but...
All right. Well, thank you, Travis.
Oh, yeah.
Do any of you know French?
No.
I'm afraid I do not. All right. Well,
How long have you had this fascination with the abnormal?
Oh, gosh, ever since I experienced my own paranormal experience. I would say when I was about 13 or 14?
What was that like for you?
Well, when my grandmother died, it was a hard time. Buried her, and then that night I saw her just walking through the living room. And I'm like, Grandma, is that you? And then I thought she was there. It looked so vivid and real. So then, I started looking into this stuff. And then...
For how long have you been seeing things?
Oh, that was the only time I've ever seen anything.
Right.
I just been reading all these folklore legends and all these tales. They're just so intriguing. But, I only saw Grandma maybe like once. No, wait. I think I saw her 3 times in my life so far. Yeah, 3 times. That's usually when I'm back home, though.
Now, yes, well, that's quite fascinating. Jeremiah, I believe we should be going. I believe I know where our young James is.
Let us go.
And I head straight for the door and open the door and step outside into the hallway.
And as I leave, I just say to Travis, beware the dark roads you travel, my friend.
Oh, I will. Thank you. You have yourself a blessed day.
I say to Travis on the way, don't get too scared. Don't get too scared.
Now, when I was snooping around, did I find anything?
Not really. You found pretty much what Oliver found, just
French literature.
Just books. You have a feeling like if you were to take any personal belongings with them or something of value, they're probably with him right now.
Well, as soon as Mr. Wright comes out, I'm like, there's one for your nut house.
It would not surprise me if I end up speaking with him in the future.
Now, listen.
I'm surprised if he doesn't think that he's already spoken to you in the future.
He may believe that. Delusions seem to be quite prominent with that young man.
Now, if there's one thing in his delusions, there's only one thing in that room that made any sense to me, and that was Squatter's Lake. When we were examining that map, there's a tiny little building between Arkham and Kingsport.
But why would he stop there?
Because Travis said he wanted to make it a little further. He apparently decided to take the trip to Kingsport in 2 goes. Wanted to stop over at Squatter's Lake.
He said to me on the phone that he was tired.
Yeah, I must have stopped there.
Probably going to stop somewhere along the way.
Hey, and if that Adniki Terra shows up, I'll take her.
Oh, I'm glad somebody will. And then you can join him in that house.
Now, gentlemen, odds are good that this is just a crazed person, if in fact they would ever exist, and they'd be long dead by now, so it's poppycock.
No, I'm not worried about any ghosts.
Doesn't this school, this university, have a reputation for teaching some rather weird subjects?
Yes. Like, I believe on the registrar's desk, it says something like medieval metaphysics, something.
This is why I wanted to steer my son away and get him to study finance like a decent human being. Numbers don't lie.
But people always do.
Well,
and we have one person who's been missing for 9 days, somewhere in the vicinity of Squatter's Lake.
And I doubt that folklore had anything to do with it.
He's probably dead.
Let's hope not.
Are we entirely convinced that this Travis is not a suspect of some sort in this?
No. Did he seem in any condition to be planning anything?
It depends. If he's dabbling into things that are dark, perhaps he has an interest in making them come true.
Dabbling into things that are dark.
He seems like a normal young boy. You leave him alone, Mr. Wright. Dr. Wright.
Well, gentlemen, what next?
I say we take a little trip.
Is it 2:00? Should we go talk to some of the teachers?
At this point, yes, it would be around 2:00 after all what you've been going through, yes.
All right. Well, let's see. Which one?
There's only one that I believe will be able to give us any real insight, and that would be the Euro Lit professor. Since that is his major, I'm sure he has more interactions with them than anybody else.
You know, that goddamn piece of shit Beretta better not have done anything. I swear to God.
We've got him on the radar. We will definitely look into it.
I don't think that he would. He wasn't worth it.
People do things out of crazed vengeance all the time, Mr. Drysdale.
Well, if he did, we'll find it, and we'll take care of it.
But your son is a responsible young man. I'm sure he's fine.
I'm following, gentlemen, wherever you want to go.
All right, we're going to go stop by Professor Swan Song's office.
Okay. He's there right now. You do see another student, though, with him. The door's cracked open. Why don't you all make listen checks?
Oh, I failed.
92. Nope. I'm still pissed about
I failed too.
fucking little brat who threw his pudding.
Did you say spot or listen? I'm sorry.
Listen.
Oh, listen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I rolled a 13. Let's see here. That makes it. That is actually a hard success.
All right. Dr. White, you hear, what you basically hear is another student in there struggling with the work, and you hear Mr. Swan Song. He's got a very powerful voice. Like, no, listen, you can do this. You just can't. You gotta stop slacking off. You gotta get your head in the game. Show up to class. You know, if you do the extra credit that I offer at the beginning of the semester, you won't flunk my class. Do you understand? Yeah, I understand. I do, but it's so hard. Like, you know what's hard? You have your final in 3 weeks, maybe less. You better make sure you do the extra credit if you want to graduate. Do you understand me? Yes, I understand, Mr. Swan Song. Thank you. And then you see just the student get up. He just walks away. And then you hear this heavy sigh from Mr. Swan Song. He's like, oh, great. Another one. I can't take it.
And I'm going to step in the room.
Who are you? You look too old to be one of my students.
No, that's because I'm not. The name's Lawson. I'm looking to talk to you about one of your students.
We're all walking in, I suppose.
Yeah.
After
there's more. What's going on here? Are you the police?
No. We're just looking for James Drysdale on behalf of his father, and I kind of
I'm his father.
Oh, you're Mr. Drysdale. He just brushes off. He gets up. It's like, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you. How's
I've
it
done.
going?
I've done. Oh, it's very strong and firm.
Excellent.
He actually grabs you with both hands. Like, I'm so glad you're here. I've been in your bank for years. My family has. You take good care of our money. Really appreciate it.
Well, that's my job. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're just now finding out that my son has been missing for 9 days.
9 days.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and we're hoping to find out what happened. These gentlemen I've hired. They're detectives.
Oh. Well, there's not much I can tell you. Like, he hasn't showed up to class for about a week, so finals are coming up.
Yes, have you had him in any previous semesters?
Yes, I'm actually his advisor.
Oh, has he had any problems with completing his coursework, getting his classwork done on time?
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that. He was doing stupendous at the beginning of the semester. You know, he came in on time, very punctual. Yeah, he got his work done.
That sounds like James.
He seemed to have a drive for this, but then within the past month, it just crumbled down. Like, you know, he just shattered. Like, if you threw a piece of glass, just shattered everywhere. He's just not the same student I had before. He's one of my top students. He's in the 90% of my, he shows his book like 90%.
Maybe you're a terrible tutor.
Tell me, do you happen to have any of his prior assignments or work?
Oh yeah, sure. And he goes through his desk like, what do you want to see in particular?
Anything, maybe a cross section over the course of the last year or two.
He pulls out his book. He goes through his filing cabinet. He pulls out some papers. You see like A minus. B. He's got like maybe like 1 or 2 B pluses.
I'm looking for content shifts. Is there any content in the types of things he's writing about?
Oh, my mistake.
That's all right.
What he's basically writing about is just about life and just life in general. He seems to have a little philosophical take with his writings, though. Makes it more standing out. And if you were to read this, it almost feels like he's like one of the great American writers. Almost like he could actually, become a actual author if he wanted to pursue it. He's very good penmanship, very good. He gets his point across. But as far as, go ahead.
I sort of quietly lean over towards Ricard and I say, good penmanship. You know what good penmanship and reading and writing are good for? Secretaries. That's I don't make nobody can hear me say it except Ricard.
I'm gonna take a look at these papers he's looking at. Does this look anything like? Because he has good penmanship, he writes very well, and I was reading through his little scraps of stuff that he had back in his apartment. Is there a difference?
There's a huge difference. You
Massive
notice like
difference.
it's like sloppy. You notice that actually no, you don't have to make a roll for it.
I can roll psychology if you want.
No, it's fine. You just know that it just kind of like, you know how you have like the doctor handwriting when you write super fast and sloppy.
Right.
He has that now, but before, like, he had everything straight. You know, in between the lines. It just like you just get the feeling he just like gave up with, you know, just school and everything. You were almost to life, except that from what you've been gathering, like the only thing that's making him worth living is Emily.
All right, so Professor Swan Song.
Yes.
Can you get the most recent thing he's turned in for us?
Yeah. Let me look for it. So he's going through his bag. It's like, well, it's not one of his better pieces, but here. And you notice that this was written in the beginning of the month. It's a completed work, but it looks sloppy, but still manageable to read.
What is it about?
You know, it's just to paraphrase everything, it's kind of depressing. It's he wrote like an really trying to think. Kind of like an Edgar Allan Poe take on something, but totally like made it more morbid and depressing. It was a free, free piece, but that sort of thing.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of explain to you more on what I'm trying to do here. I also want to look. I'm trying to find. So this the most recent thing he's turned in looks like all the other scraps of stuff he's written, but I want to find the assignment before that. I want to find the gap to where he had written something normally and to where the sloppy kind of macabre side showed up.
You would pretty much from all what you're gathering, you say 2 weeks before today is when everything started to like decline. Like when he started getting more depressed, more
2 weeks, and it was several days after that he called Hank.
Yes.
Called Mr. Drysdale.
Yes.
So a few days after he wrote this, he called. So something in the last
I'm no
something in that week happened to him.
I'm no psychologist, but would you say that he was depressed? I mean,
It certainly sounds that way, or perhaps he was in some sort of obsessive mood regarding either her, as you've suspected, or regarding some other aspect in his life. I'm curious about the turn in his work. I will say this, Mr. Drysdale, you've raised quite a well-worded son.
Well, Doc, can I call you Doc? Doc.
You can. Yes, sir. Just don't call me late for dinner.
You're the psychologist. I would never call you late for dinner. Besides, I wouldn't call you for dinner. The butler would call you for dinner.
Obvious.
Rich people.
And I just sort of point at the papers, and I'm like, well, as you say, he has good penmanship. He had good penmanship.
Mm.
This is the kind of thing that came naturally to him all the time that we were, raising him. I can't see anything making his handwriting become so sloppy unless he had some sort of a shock.
Right.
And
or it could be triggered by fighting, but you've said you've had fights in the past and nothing has come from that.
I don't
But
think
no, if you look at the dates, it kind of point this out to him. He started writing poorly before he called up Mr. Drysdale.
Ah, yes.
Something happened to him a few days prior. That's when this all started. Mr. Swan Song.
Yes.
By chance, do you recall him talking about any trips or anything he was planning on going for a weekend or something about a month ago? Does this sound familiar to you at all?
Let me think. You know, I didn't think about it till now. And he reaches up. You know, James is always a proper student, a very punctual student. As soon as I announced the extra credit, he had it on my desk the next day. He wrote about wanting to go to England with his loved one. What's her name?
Emily.
Emily. That's it. Yeah. And he shows it to you. It's basically how he wants to go to England, live his life with Emily. It's so beautiful there. He wants to explore, etc.
And when is this? Where is this on the timeline related to the?
It was back when school started. When the semester started. So that'd be back in
January.
Yeah, end of January. But it was
Okay,
more positive, more like hopeful, desire, drive.
This would,
Has he ever
my
expressed
person
interest in
trying
London?
to-
Sorry.
Oh no, I'm just trying to think with this time frame because Travis was talking about Emily coming over or him going to visit Emily. Would this period when this writing started, would this have coincided with one of those trips?
It would
have
go
not fallen.
The last one, which was about 2 weeks ago.
His last trip, this all started.
His last trip. From what you're puzzling together.
Have you ever been to England, Mr. Drysdale, with your son?
Oh, me? To England? No.
Or has he, that you know of?
No, he was the one who was interested in Europe, but no, I don't know. He has never gone.
I don't think this involves
I
England.
guess we should ask the GM. Has he?
Actually, yeah, you're absolutely right. You've never been there. He's never been there, but he's wanted to go there because he's read so many English writers.
I knew he was interested. I knew he was interested in Europe, and quite honestly, after he graduated, I would have been glad to have sent him on a year-long tour of Europe if he wanted to go. But no, he's never been.
But he's definitely. I don't think he's there because he wanted, from his writing, wanted to go with Emily. But Emily's here, hasn't seen him.
And then that road doesn't go to Europe.
That road also doesn't go to Europe. But that road
It goes to Canada, pretty close.
Well, Kingsport is a port, after all.
Yep. Something happened to him.
He's probably dead.
No, something has happened
Mr.
to him
Rodriguez.
2 weeks ago on his trip to Kingsport. We know this now. Something that deeply affected him happened on his way to Kingsport. And now on this next trip, he disappears. Something happened 2 weeks ago.
It's that amnesia terror.
I think it might have had to do with Waters Lake if he stopped there again.
I'm
stopped there twice.
Just mildly curious, Mr. Swan Song, was it? So what sort of reading assignments has he been given in the last, what was the last reading assignment that he had, or maybe the one before it?
It was free choice because, end of semester, I like to give the students a break to, ease themselves.
Well,
and
no offense, it's your profession, but some literature makes people do strange things. It puts crazy ideas in their head.
Such as...
Oh.
Well, rumor has it...
I don't know. I don't read.
The library keeps some stuff locked up they don't tell much people about.
No, I'm just talking about ideas. I'm talking about ideas of, well, like what's going on in Russia right now with, what are they, communists and...
don't get me started on that. Oh.
I don't know what if I don't know what he's been reading and you don't know what he's been reading, he could have been reading anything.
James did like to read a lot, though.
Maybe we should ask Travis a few more questions.
Or perhaps a stop by the library would be in order, just to check on what he's checked out.
Can you do that?
I'd be happy to.
I mean, can you do that? I didn't know. I don't know how the library...
I think you can. I don't know. I'm pretty sure
you can. Of course you can. I'm being my character.
Oh, okay.
Books are nice decorations. One should have a lovely library in one's house to put all those lovely decorations.
But yes, I'd be happy to swing by the library and check that out.
And I'm gonna go swing back by Travis's, and I'm gonna meet you back up at the library.
Very good.
But just think about this, Jeremiah. I mean, you studied. This is why I hired you. You're better at understanding these psychological matters than I. Do you
Indeed.
think there's a chance that this young man has stopped at this Squatters Lake place 2 weeks ago?
What I'm
It
most
seems
curious.
mighty odd why he would stop there now. Kingsport isn't that far.
It seems curious to me that he's undergone several different pressures, and there's clearly been a break in his psyche. I'd be interested if there was a fugue-like behavior, although we do know that he was intending on going to see Emily. There is a possibility if he was splitting into 2 days, it would make sense to stop at the halfway point, right?
Yes,
But
I'm just curious
the
if you
question is, if they have already had conversations about this mystery that is out there, this fictitious mystery, this fantasy, this delusion that they've come up with, if he would take it upon himself to look into that further in his weakened mental state.
that's possible, but I do believe we'll find him at Squatters Lake. Seems to be the last place we know. I think that's our next step. We'll go check on this book matter, but I'm confident that's the next place to look.
If you're confident, Mr. Lawson.
Oh, Ricard, what the hell?
I kind of just talk to Drysdale privately and just go, you do know, I reckon Mr. Dr. Wright is talking a lot of bollocks. I've seen
Well,
a
I
lot.
don't know what Dr. Wright's talking about because it's all way up here.
I've seen a lot of brains, and they're all the same.
I
They
thought
have
the fugue was something that you listen to when you go to a classical music concert.
I've seen a lot of brains, and an alienist. It's a very sketchy job.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pay a visit to Travis.
Okay. Dr. Wright, are you still gonna go to the library to see what he checked out? Okay. And
Yes.
what is Mr. Drysdale and Dr. Rodriguez going to be doing in the meantime?
I'm just gonna sort of follow wherever Mr. Rodriguez goes, but I'm
Okay.
thinking about those French fried potatoes.
I'm gonna stick with Lawson.
Okay.
Then we're all going with Lawson except for
Okay.
Jeremy.
We're gonna go with Jeremiah right now. So you go to the
I
library.
get it. Jeremiah Wright now. Got it.
Oh, that's a good one.
So I go to the library and I approach the librarian directly. I don't spend much time vacillating around. Excuse me.
Yes. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm here to inquire about some potential books that a student has checked out.
Okay. And what student would that be?
Let me get the name right. Mr. James Drysdale.
Okay, give me one moment, please.
Thank you.
Turns around, kind of goes under. About like 3 minutes later, gets a little sheet of paper. She's like, okay, he's checked out at least 4 books within the semester.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The first one being Ivanhoe.
Okay.
The second one being it's a peculiar one. Well, not really that peculiar. It's just not one of our ones that gets checked out. History of England. Specifically something with, just England, like London, stuff like that. Kind of like a tourist guide book. I don't know the exact name of it because.
Sure.
Yeah. Third book is Frankenstein.
Okay, and the fourth?
And the fourth one is How to Speak French, Intro to Speaking French.
I see. And do you happen to have have they been checked in or are they still checked out?
No, actually, they're still all out.
Let's see.
Yeah, he does have until the end of the semester to return them before we have to give him a fine.
I'd appreciate it if you potentially held off on any fine. We are doing some work to help him currently. We haven't seen him in a while, so we're just checking to find.
I beg your pardon. Who are you exactly?
Oh, my name is Dr. Wright. I'm a family friend and doctor.
And what is this concerning? Are you a medical doctor or?
Well, it's simply just concerning his interests. Thank you very much for your help. I appreciate it, I'm sure.
Yeah, have a good day.
You're a very good librarian.
Nice. Bring it home.
Just a reminder of what her job is. All right. I'm sorry. What was
her?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What was your job? Because this is not it. Stay in our lane.
So where is Lawson leading us?
Back to Travis.
Yeah, I believe he's back to Travis.
I'll wait outside. I'm going to sit on this little bench over here under the tree. I'll wait for this. I can't take any more of Travis.
I where's Mr. You're going with Lawson? Mr. Rodriguez? Okay.
Yeah.
So the door's closed again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As we're walking up, like, so Rodriguez, you still don't trust Drysdale?
I don't know. He's a wealthy man. I don't trust him, Lawson. This might all be a ruse.
A ruse of what? What would he be trying to accomplish by sending us on some goose chase?
I reckon there's something odd with his family. Something very odd, especially with his wife.
Life, huh? What, you suspect foul play?
Yes.
Hmm.
Maybe he's trying to have us as scapegoats because he's killed his son or something like that.
Oh, well, if he's going to try to get us to fall for something, I won't react too kindly.
Well, we need money, don't we, Lawson? So
Yes, it's fact of life, job's a job.
exactly. If he double crosses us, I'll punch him in the face.
Oh, I think we'll do a bit more than just punch him, but I'm going to go knock on Travis's door.
All right. Moments later, you see the door open and like, oh, you're back again?
Yes.
Are you interested in more folklore about the Abniki terror?
I just need to just one question. How about, do you know if James had left somewhere 2 weeks ago?
If he what again 2 weeks ago? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
If he went somewhere.
He tries to think. No, not that I recall. I was actually away visiting my family 2 weeks ago, so I don't know what James did from that time.
Okay, interesting. And just out of curiosity, how often did you guys talk about this Abniki horror?
Oh, not very often, because James did not like the thought. He thought it was nonsense, so he dismissed it. And I'm like, okay, I respect that. So I wouldn't want to pry with that with him. So
But recently, up before his disappearance, did he seem more interested in any of the folklore you were studying?
Yeah, the only thing I found on his bed was a what's that? Oh, Frankenstein. That's the only, but that's not really folklore. It's just a a fictional book. But no, he was that.
Has he read anything like that in the past?
No. No, that was the first. Maybe he read a book from Edgar Allan Poe in his European class, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what he reads, to be honest. Maybe he read. I really don't know. I don't.
Has he stopped at all in Carter's Corners or Squatter's Lake before?
No, Squatter's Lake. No. Clark's Corner, just to get gas, but maybe bring back some food for us. But that's about it.
So he hasn't stopped there before.
No.
All right. Well, sorry to bother you again.
Oh, it's okay. Hey, if you ever want to come by and talk about some folklore, doors always open.
I will
Oh,
hold you to that one. I find it very interesting.
Well,
Oh,
yes,
you
do you
do?
have anything to Yes, for Rodriguez here. Do you have any writings about this terror that supposedly lurks out in your Carter's corner?
Well, now that you mention it, he goes back into his room. I did a paper on it. I got A+ for it. My folklore teacher was like, he loved it. He shows you a paper. It's basically like an interpretation of like how if the Abniki terror was alive like today, like what would it be doing? How it would affect like our time, in 1920 now. So it's an interpretation piece basically.
Mind if we
A lot
borrow
of
this?
Yeah, go right ahead. A lot of details. Just more or less, it's about basically what he explained earlier, like the date when the English settlers came, what it does. Apparently, how it body snatches people that are drifting away on the road from Arkham to Kingsport.
Right, body snatches.
Yeah. Also about he Travis has also expressed some possible cannibalism as well, because it has to survive somehow. So if it can't, with being like, having missing fingers, has to eat something.
Interesting. So did
Interesting.
James read through any of your papers at all?
Oh no,
In
no,
particular,
James.
this one.
No, James did not read through any of my stuff. He finds folklore to be polycock.
All right. Once again,
Well,
thank you for your time.
Oh,
well,
thank you.
you never
If
know.
you hear from James, place a call at this office, and I give him a little card.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I'll make sure to do that. You have yourself a good day.
Or if you need anything looked into. Tap the
Oh,
card.
but sure. Thank you. And he closes the door.
Quite an odd fellow, isn't he, Rodriguez?
Yes, but I think I don't think he's like insane,
No,
like
no,
Wright suggests.
no. He just seems to be interested in folklore. That's odd. So I don't think anything he said would have impacted the decisions of James. So
No, he's just a kid trying to get by.
yeah.
That's what I think.
So you think they were going to go to England? Was that his whole plan?
Well, England is probably nice around this time, so
Yeah, probably. Explain why he took most of the stuff with him.
yes, probably.
Or why would he
Somebody's
ever?
typing is really loud.
It's not me.
Sorry.
So if he took his stuff to go to England, Rodriguez, think of this me for a minute. But then he just stops halfway and decides to do what?
I reckon we shouldn't take that tale too wisely.
No, I'm not worried about any ghosts lurking out there. I'm just trying to think, why would he stop and not call anybody?
Maybe
Unfortunately, I think I'm leaning towards your theory here, Rodriguez.
maybe he maybe he saw someone familiar, and then got spooked, had to hide.
Laying low from what? If he's
Maybe
not
it's Abniki terror.
right,
Abniki terror.
yeah, something. Whatever it is, I think he's still there, alive or dead.
Probably dead. We can't
Probably
expect
dead.
to find him alive.
Seems odd that he wouldn't call anybody. And we're gonna walk out over to Drysdale.
We're sitting together now.
We've actually been conversing. So when you come out, you see that he's sitting over by me on the bench.
Gentlemen,
All right, we'll talk to Travis. He was apparently out of town at the time that James had his little break.
However, he did speak about that Abniki terror and
Yes.
body snatching and cannibalism.
Yes, very, very persistent about it.
A
But
bunch
in
of
any event,
nonsense.
Well,
I believe at some point 2 weeks ago, he went to Kingsport while Travis was away, and something must have happened on the trip that affected him. And I believe he's gone back to that spot.
Mr. Drysdale, do you have any relatives who live outside?
The Drysdales are a fairly large family,
they're a very well-respected family in the community.
but most of them live here in Massachusetts. Kingsport's in Massachusetts. I don't know. Do I have any relatives in Kingsport?
You might have like maybe a cousin in
Distant
Kingsport, distant cousins, but most of your immediate family is here in Arkham.
Yeah. We're an Arkham family.
Yeah,
Gentlemen,
I
I
believe
did.
that we need to go to check out the Squatter's Lake.
Well, before we do, I've been trying to find some more information regarding what's been happening, and I did find out 4 books that he's checked out that are of interest in our quandary that we face. And I spent a little bit of time doing some research into those texts. These are in consecutive order. The first book he checked out was Ivanhoe. Are you all familiar with that text?
I am not.
That's
I'm certain Mr. Drysdale's read it before. 12th century England is the period in which it's set. It was written in the 19th century. And it details many things. One of the things, and forgive me, Mr. Drysdale, but there is a connection to why he might have been interested in these texts to what what his roommate had mentioned. I'm not saying that's legitimate, but I am saying that there's a connection psychologically in his thought process. Ivanhoe dealt with a witch trial that had occurred, and it featured a man named Wilfred Ivanhoe, Sir Wilfred Ivanhoe, and he had a major falling out with his father over his father's loyalty to another king, the Norman king, which would eventually settle in the Normandy region of France. And that was the first text, was about this vengeance and this moving away from his father. The second text was a history of England, more specifically London. Now, Ivanhoe is featured in the land of England as well. So there's English connection to all of these texts except for the last. The second text was Mary Shelley's third text was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. And this leads me to the quandary regarding the description that was given us by his roommate of a creature that is abnormally grotesque, so on and so forth. A connection to the French in this, each book also has a connection to the French and English, is that there's a moderate character named de Lacy, who was French, and he was the only person who could communicate with said monster. The final notes I have is that he also purchased an Introduction to French book, or didn't purchase, but checked out an Introduction to French book. So of curiosity in this is the connections. Perhaps he was intrigued by the story told by his roommate, not necessarily believing it, until perhaps he saw something or for some reason wanted to investigate this further. So my assumption is similar to Mr. Lawson's, of course, that he must have gone to that area, and it's something we should investigate soon.
Yes, but I believe our plan should be to stop by that coroner's town, ask a bit about the Squatter's Lake that he must have stopped at, see if anybody knows anything, any problems or reputation that establishment might have, and then go there.
I agree. Mr. Drysdale, do you have any input into the books he's been reading?
Look, I want you to get it in your head right now that my son didn't run off somewhere because he was having problems with me. Okay? We have the same problems that anybody else has.
Sure.
He had access. I'm not the kind of a man who denies his son. For Christ's sake, he's going to Miskatonic University and studying literature. I wasn't interfering in any way in that.
I don't believe he was
to find my fucking son.
Yes.
Absolutely, Mr. Drysdale. We concur. And please take a moment, Mr. Drysdale. I certainly did not mean to implicate you in this. Just speaking of the fight that happened prior, I don't believe you drove him to anything. I believe you are a good father with the best intentions for your child, and I have to admire your stalwart resolve in seeking him out.
Don't flatter him, Dr. Wright. Say mediocre, father.
What is our next move?
We're going to Squatters Lake.
Indeed.
All right. Are we taking 2 cars or 1 car?
Well, I'm not sure Mr. Wright's car will be able to make
comfortably
it.
fit into my car.
I'm glad to ride in your car if you'll have me, Mr. Drysdale.
I could always take my bicycle.
Rodriguez, that's a noble effort, but I believe he'll take Mr. Drysdale up on his offer.
All right. If we need to drop your car somewhere, I assume you all live here in town.
Absolutely. It's on the way.
So we're taking Mr. Drysdale's vehicle to Squatters Lake, correct?
I'm going to park my car at my house on the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, we're gonna say it's probably like around 4 o'clock. Oh no, we'll say it's like about 4 o'clock. You guys are who's driving exactly?
I'm driving my car.
You're driving. Okay. You notice that you're driving from on your map from Arkham to what's it called? Squatters Lake. The rain starts to pick up even more. It's a lot heavier now.
Oh, I better put the hood up. No.
Whoops.
All right.
And as you're driving, it just it just starts like really raining down hard on the windshield. So I need you to make a drive roll due to the weather conditions.
23 out of 40.
Okay. So you managed to drive okay without getting off, keeping everybody safe. So about maybe, we'll say, 15 miles into your drive, the rain starts to lighten up a little bit. So it's not pounding as hard. And everyone so everyone else besides Mr. Drysdale, can you make a spot hidden check?
Well, and someone pointed along there, so I said, keep your eyes open. Maybe he went off the road.
Ooh, I pass with a hard success.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a hard success as well.
I got a hard failure.
Oh. Okay, so
He fogs the window up with his breath.
yeah. But Dr. Rodriguez and Oliver, as Mr. Drysdale is driving, you're both keeping your eyes out. If I'm not mistaken, is it all like one seat, the type of vehicle? I'm not familiar with the vehicle.
It's got
front and back.
You can put 3 people in the front, 3 people in the back, and then there's a rumble seat.
Okay.
So right now it's just
is anybody riding shotgun
2
with Mr.
people in the
Drysdale?
front and 3 in the back.
No.
I think Rodriguez would be riding shotgun.
Okay, I'm sure that was something I just forgot.
Buddy.
Yeah.
All right. So as you're driving down, the 2 of you, we'll say you guys are sitting on the same side of the vehicle too. You start to see like, it's getting dark now at this point. Obviously it's getting dark, but you start to notice that there seems to be some sort of like shrouded figure, like kind of like in the ditch, like not in the ditch, but like, coming up. You can't tell if it's an actual person or if it's a tree or shrub, but it just looks abnormal to you.
Is it moving?
It's not moving.
Hey,
Mr.
Lawson.
Drysdale, would you slow down for a second?
What?
I think I see something off the side of the road here.
So I slow down.
Maybe that's that Abniki Terra.
Yeah. Whatever. Trying to get a better look at it.
Where? Should I pull over?
Keep driving.
Just keep going. We might be seeing something. But I'm trying to just really slow, though, because I'm trying to get a better look at this.
All right, I'm going slow.
Be prepared to stop, Mr. Drysdale.
We don't want to get caught in the mud. All right.
And then as you slow down, you start to make another spot hidden check. Everyone can now since you're slowing down.
Ooh, I passed with an extreme success this time.
Okay.
6.
Yeah, I passed on extreme
I got
success.
49 out of 50.
Oliver and
I
Rodriguez.
just passed normal.
Okay, so you all notice as you slow down, you notice that the large shadow now is coming from like the shrubs, and you notice the shrubs kind of like the leaves are like rumbling a bit, as if something's trying to come out.
I am going to, because I just barely passed, I'm going to immediately throw open my car door, and I've stopped the car.
Okay.
Throw open the car door and just step out and go, James, is that you?
And as
Mr.
soon as you
Drysdale, stay.
as soon as you say that, you notice that something just emerges from the shrubs, and it's a family of deer. It's about maybe 3 of them. There's the bombardier, the 2 little babies just coming off now, walking past your car. They're like skippering off.
I look at the little deer.
And I'm just sort of standing there rather stoically with the water pouring down my face from the rain.
Is
Mr.
anybody out?
Drysdale.
I was gonna ask him. Is anybody actually outside the car except for Mr. Drysdale?
I would have got out.
Okay, so I need Mr. Drysdale and Dr. Rodriguez to make spot hidden checks.
You spot the giant car coming your way?
I got a regular success.
I got a
Okay.
76, which is a failure.
I failed. Okay, Dr. Rodriguez, you notice that the baby deer seems to have a little bit of blood on the back of its leg, as if like it was dipped into something, and it looks rather fresh. And since you're a forensic surgeon, and like I said, it's fresh because you know because you're a forensic surgeon.
Mr. Drysdale.
Yeah.
There was something odd about that baby deer.
Are the deer still nearby, or
No, the deer just like ran
They
off,
skittered.
but yes, they skippered off. But since you two were outside, you kind of know. Dr. Rodriguez knows there's blood on the back of the one deer's leg. It was the baby.
oh, there was something
There,
wrong with it? What do you mean?
there was fresh blood on the back of its leg.
Well, let's go on. And I just sort of duck down and get back into the car.
I then repeat that to Oliver.
Okay.
Would my character know if this is about hunting season?
Not for deer.
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, March. It sounds. Yeah. It's just,
Yeah,
Usually deer season is like September.
I'm gonna definitely go with no because
it's not hunting
Yeah, you want to
season.
wait. You want to wait.
What
for the baby
was
deer
the
to grow
blood?
up.
The deer's blood. This is to you as GM. Was it the deer's blood or was it other blood?
Like it was a deer
Oh.
wounded.
Well, how could you tell?
Yeah.
you couldn't tell because it was skimpering off too fast. But you just know that. Yeah.
Now, I don't know this for sure, and I lived right in that area. I don't think that there are bear, but I do
There's
think
not.
there are probably wild cats and
Yeah, there's no bears in the area. I'm
maybe wolves. I don't know.
pretty. Yeah, there's no. I'm
In
pretty
New
sure there's no.
England?
Yeah, no
Probably
bears. I'm
not.
pretty.
But there are animals that might attack a deer.
Yeah.
Even a dog might attack a deer.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, whatever it was, that wasn't anything of really note.
It's
Just
got
an
to be
animal.
that Abniki Taro.
Yes.
Are you back
Yeah,
in the car, Ricard?
Yeah, I've got back in the car.
Car, Ricard. You Ricard in the car, Ricard. So I put my foot on the gas pedal and push, and
Okay. Now, how fast would you say you're going, Mr. Drysdale?
well, I can't go any faster than 35, otherwise we'll all die.
Okay.
Yeah.
from
Just,
the-
just
from the
making
pressure.
sure. Just making
Um,
sure.
No, I'm probably being a little reckless, but it is raining, and I'm a New
Mhm.
Englander. I'm used to the rain, so
Just want to make sure you're not driving like reckless or like super fast. Because like I need to get this car like now.
and I don't want to wreck my car.
Right. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Deep down inside, I know that the fact is my son's been missing for 9 days. Either he is missing because he's somewhere, he's gone somewhere and just didn't tell anybody about it, or he's dead. In which case, in either case, I don't think there's any rush. I just, that's the next place on our journey.
Right.
And we're going to get there at night anyway, so
Yep.
it's not like we can run around asking people in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm driving carefully enough.
Okay. Make a luck roll, Mr. Drysdales.
Okay. 35. That is a pass on my luck.
All right, that's good, because as you're driving, you notice that the wind starts picking up and a couple of the branches have fallen down, so you managed to, like, avoid that just to get out of the way.
That was close. Everybody awake?
Yeah, I am now.
You also start to notice, anyone's looking outside, that it looks like it's starting to storm up again. You notice the cumulonimbus above you is, like, definitely darkening above you. Looks like another, like...
Turned into a nor'easter.
Yes, hopefully we'll get there soon.
Step on it, Mr. Drysdale.
Well, we all want to get there in one piece. So I'm driving well. I'm driving fast, but not dangerously fast.
Well, I'm good at picking up pieces, Mr. Drysdale.
And as you're driving, just all of a sudden, you see his figure just running out in the middle of the road, like skippering off.
And I slam on the brakes.
It seems to just like go like to the opposite side of where you're coming from.
What was that?
Was it a deer?
No, that was human, I think.
I'm certain it was probably a deer.
Human, who would be running out in the middle of the store?
It's the Abniki terror, I'm telling you.
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
You've been talking too much to that Travis fellow there, Rodriguez.
I want to take some sanity because I'm starting.
Go right ahead, roll sanity.
I try leaning forward and looking out of the windshield. Where
make a spot hit.
The foggy place.
Yeah, I want to have a look at that.
Oh,
I pass again. 36.
Okay.
I got a hard that time.
Okay. No. Okay. So
hard fail.
Well, Mr. Drysdale, you get the better look. Oliver, you did see something definitely go by. You're not sure what it was, but Mr. Drysdale, you noticed that it was definitely as you brush the wind or the you definitely noticed it was humanoid shape.
Oh, it's a person.
A person.
It's
How was
the
this one?
They're about 6'2". It's got much to the stature of your son.
I immediately throw open the door. James, is
and I tell Rodriguez, if it's this Abniki terror of yours, and I kind of flip my trench coat back to show my revolver, I'll have a word or two with it.
There's
Mr.
no such
Drysdale.
thing as an Abniki terror.
Mr. Drysdale, what did you see?
Well, I step farther away from the car towards where it ran.
I've come after you because I walk out, come after you.
So I'm on the side of the road looking off into the...
You never know what it could be. We're getting closer to rural America.
Mr. Drysdale, what did you see?
I don't know. It looked like a person. Like about James's size.
A man or a woman?
I don't...
Unable to tell.
I'm going to get out of the car too and go, James! Try to help call him over.
James!
I want to shout into the microphone. But...
Can I kind of just walk off a little bit to try search forward?
James Paul Drysdale.
Is everyone outside the car, or did Jeremiah White... No? You're still in the car?
No, I'm still sitting in the car trying to figure out why everyone's leaving because this makes no sense to me.
I'm not walking off. I just have the door open, kind of like standing next to the open door shouting. Right?
Is everyone aware it's raining?
Yes, everyone. Oh.
Yeah, but as I've already mentioned, I don't mind the rain.
And I don't care about it either.
Hello.
James. Make a listen check. Oh, whoever's outside. So that'd be the three of you.
77.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1 as well.
All right.
Rodriguez.
So,
Synchronized swimming. Way to go.
so this,
We heard
Well, that's-
Arkham from here.
That means if the GM is in agreement that you get to put a little check mark next to those.
yes, actually, you can do that. I am okay with that.
Can improve them later. Or try
Yes.
to.
So, Mr. Drysdale just keeps screaming. He doesn't hear anything because he's yelling so loud. But Oliver and Dr. Rodriguez, you start to hear like some rustling in the shrubs where Mr. Drysdale's walking towards. It sounds like someone's coming out.
Mr. Drysdale. And I kind of like point. So like the rustling leaves.
I kind of just start walking towards the rustling leaves.
I'm just standing there because I don't want to get down into the mud.
I open the glove box just to see if there's a gun or anything in here.
No, I'm
Not in
armed.
my car now.
I have like a little.
I have no weapons, so I'm just an unarmed person.
Okay.
I actually have a Derringer, but
And as soon as you just keep yelling louder and louder, and as Oliver and Rodriguez get closer and closer, you notice that something just like emerges from the shrubs. It's a humanoid figure, much like James' stature and size, but he's very burly. You notice that they have long, dark hair, dressed in tattered clothes. You notice you got some missing fingers, and notice that like their eyes seem to be like slashed open, and they're like kind of like that. So I need the three of you to make a sanity check.
it's a homeless person, and I turn around.
30, I pass.
I've
Okay.
passed as well, but
I
I
got an
can't.
11.
I kind of want. I want to take sanity anyway.
Wait, did you all pass?
Yeah, I
Yep.
passed.
Yeah,
you
I passed really well.
Just take one sanity damage.
All right. Yeah, I'm afraid of the homeless. I'm sorry. This is my character.
That's
And then
fine.
I draw my gun and I start stepping back to the car.
It's the
Just
Abniki terror.
level up, like,
You notice that this being is very vicious, and it tries to go right after Mr. Drysdale, like because he's the closest person.
no, I'm gonna shoot it then.
Go right ahead.
And I pass 28.
Okay, roll your damage.
Can I go to stab it?
Let's see, 10. 10 points.
Oh, hold on one sec.
Wait, just kidding. There's no bonus. It's just 7 then. Sorry,
Oh,
this isn't a big enough gun to get a +3. Just a 7.
you managed to. You obviously hit it like square in the chest. As you fire, it seems to take a jolt back, but it's still alive. It's still kind of like it's hurt though.
Can I go to stab it?
And I try to run back around the car.
Okay.
Did it actually touch me?
No, it was like lunging after you, kind of like an animal would.
All right.
So if Dr. Rodriguez would like to try to stab it, make a brawl. Make a brawl roll, and I'll make a dodge.
I'll make it. Oh, that was a fail.
I failed as well, so nothing happens.
I kind of just fumble over, but
Just prodding at it. You don't really.
Well, Oliver, you are point blank from the thing that's attacking your comrade now, or Dr. Rodriguez now. So it would be your turn if you'd like to go.
Yeah,
again.
I'm gonna shoot it again. Do we
Okay.
get a bonus dice because I'm so close?
Yeah, it's point. You don't have to roll for it because you're point blank.
Okay.
So you would just roll. I believe it'd be. Is it max damage, Tom? Do you know?
Oh, if
He's like point blank.
blank wouldn't be max damage. I think it's just easier to hit.
Oh yeah, so you want to? Yeah, so you just didn't roll
I
your
think.
damage then. No, I know you don't have to roll to hit because you're. So just roll your just roll damage.
So I'm just gonna unload on this thing.
Yeah,
Just-
go right ahead.
Fire multiple shots. So 10, 1, and 4. So 15
All right,
total.
you gun the poor being down. It's just not. It's dead. It's like all scribbled up. Like
I'm going to do a sanity roll for that.
yeah, I'm
I've never seen anybody kill somebody before.
actually no. I would have seen that, so I'm not going.
Yeah. I'm gonna just blow the smoke off my barrel and go get it, reload it, and put it back and go take a closer look.
Doctor Rodriguez pulls out a little card with like 30 points.
Can you tell me how far ahead of us they are? How far ahead of me they are?
I would say maybe about like 15 or 20 feet. You definitely hear the gunshots going off.
So you just hear 4 gunshots just pop out.
Yeah, I sent you a
But
message about what I'm doing.
Oh, okay, I got that. But
Yep.
you don't actually see what Oliver was shooting at
Okay.
from your position in the car.
Can I go to examine? This
Oh yeah,
body?
sure. Go right ahead. Make your forensics check.
And I'm backed up against the car.
It'd be bad if I failed this one.
You okay, Drysdale?
I'm sitting in the driver's seat right now.
I've never seen
I got a hard pass.
Mr. Drysdale, get in the car.
Jeremiah, it's fine.
I want to see.
Okay, so
I put on my gloves, by the way. I put on my.
you said you. If I'm not mistaken, Dr. Rodriguez, you said you get a hard success, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you examine the being, you brush his hair back, it's long black hair, and you notice from your examination that this is a woman, actually, a very burly woman. And as you're checking them out, you know, you're doing like kind of like your I would assume you're checking everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you notice in particular is that this person had no weapons on them. They had no identification. They were wearing tattered clothes. They didn't even have shoes on. You notice that at least there were 5 fingers missing for both hands. It's the index, the ring, the pinky on the left hand, and the middle and the index on the right hand. And you notice that their eyes looked like they were slashed, like as if someone like took a knife and just like slashed it right across their face. The tongue is like gone. There's no tongue left to speak of. It's just like, you know, kind of like a little nub. But the most peculiar thing you see is on their chest. You see in the middle of their chest, the center of it, an unbleeding hole. It seems to be surrounded by a network of red lines. I need you to make a sanity roll. That's very unusual for you to be seeing that.
Oh, I failed that.
All right, just take 2.
Okay.
Is it dead?
You know, Doctor, it is dead. Dr. Rodriguez knows that this thing ain't coming back.
Oh, well, I was just yelling that at them.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
I'm
Yes,
like,
it's
well, I
dead.
shot it 4 times. It better be dead.
It's dead, but I believe that friend of your son was correct about that Abniki terror. That
Well,
seems
then I was correct when I told you what I would do when I saw it, and I kind of once again
it fits the description.
showed the gun. Well, I'm highly doubtful that that's true.
No, just come
Could
look.
could we all perhaps get in the car soon before authorities come to check out the gunshots, if anyone heard it?
We have self-defense. We'll be fine. Listen,
We're miles from it.
Rodriguez,
Mr. Lawson.
there's no way this thing has lived for hundreds of years. But I do know what you're saying.
Burly female.
And I'm a little
black
more
hair.
conservative about this Travis fellow. If maybe somebody has, as somebody was suggesting earlier, trying to do something. I know Jeremiah was talking about this, right? Talking about trying to enact something that he was reading. You think this would be
Travis.
his work?
No, Travis. No.
No.
Maybe
no,
James.
No. I'm
Are you
getting-
guys back in the car? Are you guys still standing in the forest?
We're standing in the.
And
we're standing
I'm getting back into the car. No. This is insane. This is a
I want to take off my jacket and just cover the body.
Okay.
Now I want to help Rodriguez toss it off into the side of the ditch.
All right. Just make a strength roll with advantage.
Well, I passed with an extreme 6. Oh,
Okay.
one shy of an extreme. Dang it.
Oh, so you just
13
like
out of 12.
you guys
13. I
just
needed a
take-
12 for the
you
extreme.
don't pull a muscle or anything. You just pick it up and you just throw it to the side, cover it with
Unceremoniously.
Dr. Yeah.
I pick up the
That's
shells
awesome.
and stuff, toss them off the road too, and
Okay.
get in the car.
Cool.
More or less unfazed. It's a little odd to get attacked by somebody out here, but, you know, world's a crazy place.
And as we're back in the car now, Mr. Drysdale drives off to your destination.
No, I can't.
Oh,
No,
I'm
I've
sorry.
I've been sitting in the driver's seat, and when you guys when you guys get back in the car, you see that you're not entirely sure what Dr. Wright is doing, but he's attempting to calm Mr. Drysdale using a pocket watch, not for hypnosis, although you would have no idea, just to bring him to the moment.
It's a cheap pocket watch.
It's a good pocket watch.
Cheap pocket watch.
Dr. Wright, what are you doing to Mr.
I'm just
Drysdale?
calming him. Let's all be quiet for a moment and still. I'm
You
not
and your-
doing hypnosis or anything to that effect. Just bring
I'm watching out the window still.
It's just distracting. What the hell?
Can we just drive? Just go.
Can I make a psychology roll to see if I can help him
Of
regain
course you
his
can.
wits a little bit, please?
That's psychoanalysis.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Psychoanalysis. He's right.
I have more psychology. I'd like to use that, please. No, I'm just-
It's not the same thing.
I did great. I got a hard success on psychoanalysis.
Okay, then you're able to help Mr. Drysdale.
All right. Are we just going to leave the body there in the ditch?
Well,
I
yeah.
think,
What else are we supposed to do with it?
well, it could upset local people. Perhaps
Local where? I once again gestured to the woods. That
we
just
are
came past.
only a matter of miles from each town. We are.
Would you rather leave it on the road? We'll notify the authorities in corners and have them find the body. It's fine.
Don't even bother. Don't bother.
No, we have to inform the authority. Oh, God. I don't want my name in the papers.
Mr. Drysdale had nothing to do with any of this, gentlemen.
Oh,
Remember, he isn't even.
I will tell the authorities all on my own. Don't worry. I shot it. I should be the one to tell.
Oliver, we leave it. It never happened. We just keep driving.
I hate to say it, I'm on Richard's side.
Nobody would be able to tie us back to
Rick.
us.
You didn't leave your jacket on it, did you?
He did.
Yeah,
He
I
sure
did.
Go get your jacket.
No,
No.
worry. I
Nobody.
don't have anything in it, so
Just a standard jacket like everybody else wears. It's fine.
I don't have anything in it. I keep it-
Rodriguez isn't one for fancier things.
He'll
know how
be
to
guy
clean
walking
it.
around without a jacket.
He'll catch a
I'm fine.
cold.
I'm good.
No, I mean, people in town will see a man without a jacket, and then somebody will say, well, there was a jacket on the body that they found out in the
Right.
woods. Must have been that guy.
It will be fine. I will
But
just.
so every single person in this dump of a town is going to have a jacket?
Go get your fucking jacket.
Look, if there's two things I know, every man has a jacket in this weather, and every man has a hat every day.
Except him.
All right.
Except this gentleman.
All right. I get out the car. I go get my jacket.
Oh, we're still here. I thought we were driving away.
No, we haven't driven yet.
and then,
I was trying to
and then
relax.
before I get in the car, I just throw it. I just throw it away.
The jacket?
Wait,
Yeah,
where
I
do you
just
throw
throw
it?
my gun. Just
Where do you throw the
out,
jacket?
in the opposite direction.
So he's hiding the jacket. He's not leaving it on the body.
I say to Lawson, I say, you see, this is why that Beretta fella got fired, because he doesn't listen to authority.
Rodriguez,
Let's
just grab
go.
your jacket and get in the car.
Let's just go.
I literally just sit in the car and
I start driving away because this is not worth the stress to Mr. Drysdale.
Okay.
This is worse than that time that I don't know, that time that Wendell screwed up the Markin Brothers account.
It's just a jacket. I know how to clean up after myself. There's no evidence we were there. That jacket didn't get
Enough.
All right. Jeremiah, get us to this fucking town.
He's driving. He's topping out at like 20 because he's used to his 15-mile-an-hour car. He's like, whoa, this is pretty crazy.
Just to backtrack, are we driving to Clark's Corner, or are you going right to the motel?
Which one's closer?
Corners.
You'd have to pass Clark's Corners first before getting to
So
the
we should
motel.
stop in Corners, maybe refuel, and then ask just casually about, hey, we're looking for places to stay. Where would you recommend? To see if they bring up the Squatter's Lake place. And if they don't, we will.
This car has a decent amount of a gas in it. Maybe
Right.
we go to the hotel first,
Yes.
so that the
Get
gas
checked in.
guy in Clark's Corners doesn't think that he would remember us stopping there,
Right.
especially at this time of night.
So to the motel?
To the motel.
I guess so.
Okay. So as you drive up to the motel, you notice that the weather is finally lifted up. It's not raining anymore. You get a cool breeze in the air. It's around dusk time at this point. And as you arrive, you arrive to a kidney bean shaped lake. And beside it, you notice this 2-story T-shaped building made of wood. And as you approach it, you notice this sign, big white sign in black lettering that says vacancy. And above it, you notice a sign above the building. It says Squatters Lake Motel. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Excellent.
Fancy.
Fantastic game so far.
Yay! I can't wait till Rodriguez meets his death. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I will probably be the first to die if anyone.
Good
Our
job,
play-
Lauren.
Our players included Tim Hart, Josh Harwood, Morgan Llewellyn, and myself, with Lauren Eason as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in our description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have, though we do try to keep the spoilers out. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good game.